What is the most ridiculous thing a partner has asked you to change about yourself? The amount of men that ask me to come off antidepressants because don't I make you happy enough without the pills? Lord give me patience. You're too nice, you need to stop that. Said every time L gave money or food to a panhandler or charity, anytime I expressed compassion for someone who wasn't him, and especially when we were watching George W. Bush's invasion of Iraq and I was horrified at all the Iraqi people dying. Fuck you, Mike, the struggle is real, and I'm gonna be nice to as many people as I can because none of us decided to be here. My college boyfriend said I could stand to lose a few. Wish he could see me now, I am so much fatter, lol. No, but really I looked great and he was a dweeb. He wanted me to be shorter. I'm 5 feet 1 inch. He literally wanted me to hunch my shoulders and only wear fucking flats all the time. He was 53 and insecure. I'm AO. Him, you shouldn't wear makeup. Me, why, what's the problem? Lots of women wear makeup. Him, my mom doesn't. I got a tattoo of a keyhole on my chest above my heart and dude flipped out about it and cried. He cried. I don't even remember why he was crying. He really didn't like the fact that I put more ink on myself. I just remember thinking holy shit, this dude is fucking crazy. Spoiler alert, he was actually fucking crazy. Eventually had to testify against him in court because he had child porn on his computer and was secretly recording his neighbor's underage daughter. I found it all and went straight to the goddamn police. My former spouse asked me to move my period because it fell on his 3-day weekend and he refused to have sex with me when I was broken, so that was a real bummer for him. I suggested that he ask one of the other guys to swap with him, but he wouldn't even ask Andy. Suspect it's because he knew Noon liked him enough. It wasn't a long-term thing. We had been dating for a few months at the time. He didn't ask me to change specifically, but he was upset when he found out I was born in Romania. I was adopted by an American family when I was 2 and have lived in the US for the vast majority of my life. I barely remember anything about Romania. He told me I was basically a Turkish rape baby and that he couldn't see himself with someone like me because I wasn't actually white. So he broke up with me. It was pretty shocking. I had no idea he had this massively racist side to him. He did me a favor. I had a partner ask me to gauge my ears so that I could fit his aesthetic more. Safe to say that relationship was short-lived. LMAO. He wanted me to get bigger boobs. I'm happy with my B cup, thank you, asshole. I dumped his ass. An ex asked me to stop saying sorry all the time. I'm sorry, but I'm Canadian and I cannot help it. To not have more tattoos than him at any point. So when I wanted my second and he only had the one, he expected me to wait until he got a second tattoo first. I'm guessing it had something to do with his weird hang-up on masculinity. I didn't listen and got my second while we were dating. He didn't say or do anything about it. I dye my hair a lot. This is something I've always taken pride in and I love my hair. My ex, on the other hand, told me L wouldn't meet his parents until I got rid of the crazy colors. I never met the parents. My past. He was appalled to find out an ex of mine was Jewish. I have long, thick, dark brown hair, great condition. I have never dyed it and it's probably my favorite feature. I get a lot of compliments on it. My ex would always suggest I dye it blonde. If you like blondes, date a blonde. Dumbass. He didn't want me to cry. Ever. The women in my family would never cry unless their arm was being sawed off at the time. 20-some years later I realized he should have married his sister. My ex told me that I tell him I love you too much. Unsurprisingly, he broke up with me a few weeks later. My religion. He verbally assaulted me when I said I didn't want to convert to Islam. He did a lot worse, but that's where the abuse began. I had an atheist girlfriend that told me to not bring my Bible into her apartment because she didn't want that shit in her house. My ex-BF wanted me to get tattoos, get gauges, pierce my nipples, and start doing a lot of drugs because it'd be so hot. He also wanted me to change my demeanor from upbeat to brooding and moody. That kind of happened naturally with him anyways because he was so soul-suckingly awful to be around. He wanted me to get rid of my pets. If I was really good though, he could be okay with me keeping my dog. Nope. Got rid of him instead. Asked me to be more agreeable and not discuss feminist issues in his presence. This winner also told May needed to lose about 40 pounds because women shouldn't weigh more than 120. For context, I'm 5 feet 9 inches and at the time was wearing a size 6. I noped out of that relationship pretty quick. My body. I'm 5 feet 5 inches and naturally thin, booty didn't have muscle at the time. I had been looking to start going to the gym though, so Elle agreed to go with her. I'd always played sports, so Elle looked forward to being active again. I wanted to gain strength. She had a gym addiction and her type was pretty much strictly fit people. She straight up said she wouldn't date an overweight/fat person because they wouldn't be healthy. Disgusting mindset. She was pretty much trying to mold me to fit her type exactly, including down to my diet, which I had to tell her outright to shut the fuck up about what I ate. You can pry ice cream out of my cold, dead hands. That relationship did not last long, but I feel very vindicated in the fact that I reached her fitness goals in half the time she did, just because I genuinely enjoy working out. It helps my mood and ADHD symptoms. I couldn't care less what I look like as long as my body feels healthy and strong. I have a 4-pack of ABS and hella strength now, and my current beautiful, thick, strong AF girlfriend very much loves my body for what it is, regardless if it's fit or not. I'm very pale, so pale that you can see the blue of my veins throughout most of my body. A boyfriend I had about 10 years ago asked if there was anything I could do to get rid of them. I had to explain that no, I had a circulatory system and very much wanted to remain alive. He wanted me to wear a skirt. Skirt edit. Wow, y'all love a skirt. Okay, they are comfy, but the ones he chose were like camo print. Bring back the skirt. Said I need to stop wearing jackets in the house because he hates it. My ex didn't like me wearing skirts. Not because they were short or provocative or anything, he didn't like skirts. Fuck that guy. My first BF had a problem with me wearing super trendy colorful clothes. Why can't you just wear jeans and a black tee? Why can't you just wear black clothes? It annoyed him that people would look at me when we went to malls. It got to a point where if he was picking me up, he'd call and ask, "Are you ready? Send me a pic of what you're wearing. If it's pink or orange, change into black. If it's a skirt, wear jeans." He made me promise not to wear my favorite deep purple corduroys. He didn't realize that it wasn't the clothes that people looked at me for. I was a loud, outgoing teen with a bubbly personality. That's what made me attract a bit of attention. He hated when people looked at me at all. Even older women who have stopped me to compliment my style or hair. He's changed in the 10 years since and we're still good friends. He agrees he'd been the jealous type and hated all my friends and hated how much attention I got. He's grown now, and is a much better human being and an amazing friend. My whole personality. This dude, admittedly very shallow looking back, but I was so naive then, told me straight up that I was cute but LD be better off without the personality because it's a bit much. He didn't like that I like to laugh and joke around and such. He basically wanted me to just become an accessory. Shut up and look pretty. Yeah, nah, I got TF out of there. Weirdly, I was about to answer a whole list of things, but I realized that he never actually asked me to change things about myself. But I still did it anyway. Maybe he made hints, or maybe I just had such low confidence in myself that I felt he would only love me if I changed everything about myself. I got told I was needy and possessive because I am monogamous and would also like my partners to be. Same guy also took me to Pizza Hut once, waved the salad menu in my face and said, "I think you're better off looking at this." So yeah, I also basically got told to lose weight. I really have never understood why we didn't work out. He kept insisting that I socialize more with strangers. Like we would be ordering drinks in a beach bar and he would insist that I make small talk with these 2 random girls who were also ordering. Like IDGAF about small talk with strangers, stop forcing me, ugh. To post more pictures of ourselves doing corny shit so we can be Tumblr famous together, LOL. He wanted me to stop posting selfies on Instagram, which is I like 85% of what I post there. He said he knows the way guys think and he didn't want them thinking of me that way. Of course, he followed a ton of random girls he didn't even know on Instagram and liked all of their selfies. He wanted me to distance myself from my family mainly because he wasn't close to his family and didn't have that kind of support. He picked me up on Thanksgiving to have lunch with his mom. He promised we would go together to my family's Thanksgiving at dinner. Evening rolled around and he proclaimed he was too tired to go and refused to drive me the whole 25 minutes to my grandpa's house. When I didn't show up, my family freaked out and my siblings came to get me. My brother asked my boyfriend what happened and he couldn't come up with an answer other than he was tired. Later he posted online my brother tried to fight him, haha. Dumped him that night. I would have left him sooner, but I was young and dumb. How much time it took me to have an orgasm, lol. Like as if it in my control. Should have told them to do better. Stop worrying, stop thinking so much, yeah, if it were that easy, I wouldn't be doing it. My ex-husband was weirdly fixated on me getting a boob job. He brought it up multiple times in the 4 years we were together, including on our honeymoon. I supposed this wouldn't be terribly surprising since men can certainly be fixated in large-chested women, but the funny thing is, at the time I was 54, 120 pounds max with a 32DD size 4 pants. Causal didn't have a whole lot of lower curve before kids. So, somewhat toothpicks with the exception if my more than ample bosom. I've often joked about them being my best feature, again, pre-kids. LOL. I was literally blown away that he was so serious about me getting enhancements. Dated a girl who wanted me to be more masculine cause she thought I looked more attractive that way. Got rid of her. Dated a trans man who wanted me to be more feminine. Got rid of him too. I'm non-binary and how I choose to dress is for me and not them. He thought my laugh could be more ladylike, because as long as I had a witch cackle he wouldn't be able to take me anywhere high class. He was flat broke at the time and I was paying for everything. I also sound different depending on how hard I'm laughing, so it's not like I had to break out the witch laugh at all these imaginary restaurants and balls we were totally going to attend. Didn't matter, he wanted me to train myself out of it anyway. I once had a guy who I wasn't even dating ask me if shaved down there. We had exchanged numbers and were talking, but this question still threw me off. I answered honestly and told him I shave, but I don't shave it all off, and he was appalled and said, "Oh, I don't know if LD like going down on you if you weren't completely bare." Who said you were ever going to see my vagina? Needless to say, he never did. My ex told me I needed to start pretending I didn't understand things even when I did. Men like explaining things to women. The ex before him basically told me I was malfunctioning. BCL didn't want to be a Sam, and he asked me to never fart in front of him. BC women don't poop. One of my college boyfriends asked me when I was going to get a boob job, whining that so-and-so's girlfriend already got hers done, and then one night in bed he told me that if he could change anything about me that he would start with my nose. I kicked him out of my house that very second and dumped his sorry ass, and he had the audacity to act shocked and offended. LOL. I had an ex explain to me that I would really look a lot more attractive with big, fake boobs. He said, "You see, I just really love girls with big ones, and you would just be better with them." I told him that I like big dicks, and he was lacking in that department, and I would get bigger boobs when he got a bigger dick. My job. He didn't want me working around a bunch of dudes just trying to fuck you. I'm older still 10 years later. LOL. My religion. It was so bizarre because he dated me knowing I wasn't religious, acted okay, then constantly was bothered by me not being religious. It didn't last long. Mine wanted me to drink more because it wasn't fun having a girlfriend who barely drank. He had the audacity to tell people afterwards that I was an alcoholic. Glad he dumped me. More of a threat than a demand, but if you gain 3 pounds, LD break up with you. You kind of have a spare tire. I was 5 feet 5 inches and 120 pounds. My dumb ass stuck around for a while after that. My life goals. Before I realized I was playing for the other team, the dude just decided, on his own, that we were going to have children and I was going to be his somehow always scantily clad housewife, despite me saying several times I'm never, ever having children, and I'll be doing bare necessities housework because I got shit to do before I'll go to the grave. I used to have the side of my head shaved, buzzed, not shaved bald. I loved it. My ex asked me to stop cutting it and let it grow out. I said why? I like it. He said because I don't like my girlfriend having shorter hair than me. Sounds like it's time to shave your head then, buddy. My ex is an ex for a reason. He didn't believe me when I told him that I get way too overstimulated with lots of noises / crowded places. I've always been like that. One time we had gone to his little brother's bar mitzvah because he turned the big 13. After his bar mitzvah, everyone from there went to Olive Garden and I had thought it was going to be my boyfriend and I, his immediate family, and his aunt with her kids. We got there and everyone was there. We had the back room all to ourselves, and with the crashing of dishes to the bathroom doors constantly sending open and close to the cars on the street outside to everyone chatting, I excused myself from the table twice in the almost 2 hours we had been there. The second time I texted my then boyfriend saying that I didn't think I could stay much longer because I was getting overwhelmed and was feeling claustrophobic. He texted me saying he was going to tell his family that I didn't feel good because he didn't want them knowing about my overstimulation because he thought it was a silly thing that I could overcome. We got to the car and he was actually upset with me for leaving about 30 or so minutes before everyone else. He also had said that it was his brother's birthday and I should have held out longer because of it. He started telling people I had a different job title than I actually do, because it sounded better. Now I am more successful than he is, so he can suck it. My clothes, he inspected my long skirt carefully, and said it was transparent and told me not to wear it. It was hardly transparent and I had leggings on underneath. I laughed at him and we ended up breaking up a week or two later. He was a clown. Her words exactly: you need to stop being bisexual? I understand it's who you are but it doesn't work for me and I really want to be with you. Total cringe. Needless to say we aren't together anymore. In high school my then BF told me I wasn't allowed to wear clothes from Forever 21 or Ross because that was ghetto and he wanted me to wear ANF, Hollister, and AE as if I had the money. Took me a couple of years to realize what a fucking loser he was.